Good morning, y'all! Welcome back to another day in the life. Today, we have a huge showdown between the Samsung S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro. My sister and I will be using both phones throughout the day to see which one has better battery life, camera, and performance. So let's go ahead and get the day started. So we're at the gym now, and I'm going to be showing you guys what the settings on both phones. Both phones are going to be recording in 4K. If it's any different, I'll let you know. Also, I'm going to have it on 120 Hz refresh rate. I'll also have always on display on for both as well. Throughout the day, we will be doing some battery check-ins, so I'll show you guys how it's performing throughout the day. When you see the footage from both phones side by side, they look nearly identical under good lighting. They both have great color, clarity, and quality. But I do find the S23 Ultra to be more saturated than the 14 Pro. Just take it on back, take it on back, ooh. My sister just called me to go eat lunch. She made chicken pho from scratch, so let's head on over to eat lunch. I'm so excited, and then we will do a battery check-in with the S23 Ultra and the iPhone. Ooh, I'm so excited. Ooh, is this my bowl? It sure is. Thank you, this looks so good. Sheesh. Nice.
Not bad.
Holy shit.
It's just nice because I'm like, I was gonna play games anyways.
Yeah, I can't get over how good it is. I had such a good lunch with my sisters. We were just talking about a lot of celebrities, just what's going on. But anyways, it is time to do a battery check-in. It is currently 11:56 a.m. The S23 Ultra is currently at 87%. And the iPhone 14 Pro is currently at 86%. When it comes to screen time, the iPhone 14 Pro has 1 hour and 6 minutes of screen time, and the S23 Ultra has 57 minutes of screen time. The 14 Pro comes packed with a built-in stereo speaker delivering 3D sound via Dolby Atmos. I do have to say one of Apple's strengths is the quality of their speakers. You can raise the volume really loud without having any noise or buzz going on in the background. You can hear the vocals and background instruments in the audio really well. Over on the S23 Ultra, they too come with Dolby Atmos speakers as well, which nearly sound identical to Apple since they both are using Dolby Atmos. But the same thing with the S23 Ultra, you can raise up the volume and still have really great quality audio. Let's give them a test. So we are about to go to Pilot Coffee Roaster. It is my favorite. It recently opened in my city, but it originated in Toronto. They had a few locations, and I guess because they're so popular that they opened here. I honestly love their coffee. It's really rich in flavor and smooth, and better yet, they make their own coffee in Toronto. So it is fair trade coffee, ethically made, and also very transparent with their process. But yeah, we're off to go to get Pilot Coffee Roaster.
Do you want a coffee here?
No, I'm okay. Thank you. When taking pictures, oftentimes the S23 Ultra comes off a little bit more saturated, especially with the selfie cam. I would say, looking at my skin tone, the 14 Pro is closest to my skin tone, but I am a little bit more tan than I look in the 14 Pro. Because the S23 Ultra has more saturation, oftentimes it can look more lively and vibrant if there isn't natural lighting, and the 14 Pro, it looks a little bit more dull. Drink yours, drink yours. Typing and texting on both phones is comfortable since they have enough space to spread out the letters and buttons, but not too big where it feels difficult to reach any of the letters. So we're at Waterloo Park. It's such a gloomy day today. I honestly wish the sun was out. It's kind of raining just a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna go over to the gazebo and we'll probably make some content over there, do some work over there as well. At least it blocks the rain. Weather-wise, it's actually not too bad, but yeah. When you're looking at both the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pros indoors, you're never going to have any issues with brightness since the iPhone 14 Pro has a peak brightness of 1600 nits, whereas the S23 Ultra has a peak brightness of 1750 nits. So when you're outside with the sun shining, you're going to be able to see both screens really well, especially if you have a white background. Sometimes it makes it a little bit more tough, or even black background as well. Now, when you're putting those two phones side by side, the S23 Ultra is obviously a little bit brighter than the iPhone 14 Pro since it has 1750 peak brightness and the 14 Pro has 1600. Y'all, it's literally raining so much right now, but I'm gonna do the photos, I'm gonna do the pictures, doing this for content. So yeah, Samsung versus Apple. Please slap that like button for me. I'm literally gonna go run in the rain right now for some photos. Rip to my makeup, let's see how it turns out. As y'all saw in the previous video, the 14 Pro outperforms the S23 Ultra under low light conditions when it comes to videos. However, when it comes to photography and natural lighting, the S23 Ultra produces much more brighter and vibrant images compared to the 14 Pro. But when you edit the images, they almost look identical. I would say with the S23 Ultra, it almost has like a frost-like filter over it, which I did not add. It is currently 3:08 p.m. and it is time for the battery check-in. So I have the S23 Ultra here. Me and my sister have been using it on and off, mainly her, and then sometimes me as well. The S23 Ultra is at 67% and it has an hour and 44 minutes of screen time. So again, it's 3:10 p.m. The iPhone 14 Pro is at 68% with an hour and 52 minutes of screen time. That's it! Oh my god! Oh no! Okay. So there is, what is this? Is this a peach? Look at that little peach booty over there. Oh my god.
Want to get the two flavors? I can pay for the ice cream.
And this is mango. So I think it's peach and mango. Oh yeah! Let's
Is there any wasabi?
it should be. What is this one? Oh, dynamite? So we saw this all over TikTok saying that it was like the best ice cream. So we have peach and mango. So we're gonna give these a try. At first it'll taste like peach to me. And then inside's like almost like a light peach ice cream. You don't really like yours. Yours is really good too.
I love the crisp on the outside, and the inside is like a rich, nice mango flavor.
You wanna try change? The mango's better. I like the mango better. The peach is alright.
Which is alright.
The S23 Ultra boasts an impressive 200 megapixel camera, while the 14 Pro only offers a fraction of that with its 48 megapixel camera. When comparing side by side, the S23 Ultra has much more saturation and clarity than the 14 Pro. The S23 Ultra also does a better job on focusing on the object and blurring the background, otherwise known as bokeh, and it provides more definition. I'm in the middle of setting up my lights because I'm about to make some margaritas. I'm gonna film it, and I'm also gonna interview my sister, asking her some questions because she switched from iPhone to Samsung, so I'm gonna ask her experience. But yeah, I'm just in the middle of setting up all these lights. There we go. And then add some lemonade. Summer's happening and everyone is trying to get that tajin. Yeah, I had to go to 2 Walmarts for this tajin. So what made you want to switch to Samsung? Because I know you were telling me that you wanted the 14 Pro or the S23 Ultra. So like, what was your reasoning between the two and what made you go with the Samsung?
Yeah, so my friends in Vancouver, they all had Androids, and I never saw the appeal because whenever I used their phone, I honestly did not know what I was doing. It just felt like a whole new different layouts, apps, the way it works within itself. I was just
processor.
And the processor, everything was so confusing. But ever since I gained more and was into, the gaming life, I heard Samsung is all about gaming. And I was kind of honestly getting bored of the iPhone.
So you had the Samsung for 2 months now. Do you miss Apple? Is there anything about Apple you miss? Or you're like loving Samsung?
I mean, I do miss the iMessage, but I mean, there's also WhatsApp, there's Facebook Messenger, there's alternatives, but there's some people that you only text with iMessage, and changing to another different platform is like whatever, but I do miss texting those people on iMessage.
For me, you don't have an Apple laptop, do you? So you don't have like an Apple ecosystem. Mm-hmm. For me, I have like an Apple ecosystem with my Apple Watch, laptop, and phone. So what I love is AirDrop. So if I were to switch to Samsung, I would miss AirDrop so much because I have a MacBook, but you don't have that, so you don't have to worry about that too much.
I would say just the theme. Sometimes you get bored of looking at your phone, same shit. But when you change the theme, it's just a whole new different experience. Yeah. So that's definitely my favorite. I love the screen. I don't know what the inches is towards, what's the?
6.8 inches?
Yeah, the screen.
Oh, so display. You like the 6.8 inch display.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so good for gaming. It's such a good experience. I mean, the iPhone Pro Max, the screen is
6.7 inch, so it's not even as big as the Samsung. Plus, it has the dynamic island and the bezels are thicker than the Samsung. So Samsung display, like screen real estate, is bigger even if you got the Pro Max. It's already bigger than the Pro Max and the screen real estate is bigger.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're a gamer, you know how important that is. And I'm just overall in awe.
Yeah, literally. It honestly is perfect for gaming. Hi, Nala. Hi, Nala. Hi, pretty girl.
Wait, red dot means it's...
Recording.
It was on UK.
Let's stay, paw. Good job, girl. Other paw. Good job. Stay. Go. Good job. Thank you. I had a few comments in my YouTube shorts and videos asking if it felt too big, but honestly, not really initially when I'm holding it. But when I'm trying to like open the lock screen or grab certain buttons, that's when it feels too big because then I can't hold it like this. I have to hold it like this to comfortably unlock this screen. Now, a perfect size for me would be the 14 Pro. I'll put it side by side. So this is the perfect size for my hand because I can reach all the buttons. I can unlock my phone without ever really having to move this phone or reposition my hand. But if you are into gaming, you have to get the 6.8 inch or 6.7 14 Pro Max because when I was gaming on my 14 Pro, the experience wasn't that great. Like, yes, it's doable, but I did wish that the screen was bigger so I can see everything. Just because games have so much detail and so much going on. When looking at the selfie camera from the iPhone 14 Pro, I prefer it over the S23 Ultra. It's truest to color, most clear, and pretty universal on all apps. But when you're looking at the S23 Ultra selfie camera under low light, it's not as true to color to my skin tone and has a little bit of a fade. But with Instagram, because the UI is more geared towards iPhone, it looks a bit off and it does not look like the same as the selfie camera footage from the S23 Ultra. I am back, guys, and I am exhausted. It has been such a long day. June has been crazy. There is so much events happening, so much videos being filmed, a lot of things happening in the background. But anyways, it is time for our last battery check-in since it is about 10:30 p.m. I have my two phones here, the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro. Let's see how they perform throughout the day. All right, so first up is the iPhone 14 Pro. As I mentioned, it's 10:30 p.m. and the battery is at 15% with 4 hours and 21 minutes of screen time. Over here on the S23 Ultra, the battery is at 10% with 4 hours and 1 minute of screen time. Overall, the batteries performed really well. Just to recap the settings, it was at 120 Hz refresh rate and ProMotion was on with the iPhone 14 Pro. Both of them were filming in 4K resolution, and also I had it at brightness at around halfway to 2/3, sometimes even full. And we were creating a lot of content throughout the day, taking a lot of photos, played some games. So overall, I feel like we tested it to the max. And so they lasted all day, an average of 4 hours of screen time. Although the iPhone 14 Pro has a little bit longer screen time and better battery, I do have to note that my sister has this Mario type of animation going on. And with this, I do believe it's gonna take up a little bit more battery. Someone who loves tech and loves testing out tech, I honestly want more from Apple. Overall, performance is going really great. Gaming obviously is not going to be as good as Samsung since their Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip is more geared towards the gaming industry. The game is just more fluid. It just works really better. Playing Genshin Impact is more fun on the S23 Ultra than the iPhone 14 Pro because of the size and how the graphics are. The graphics are beautiful on the Samsung. On the iPhone, it's still nice, not as on par as the Samsung. Now, don't get me wrong, although the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip is a beast, the A16 chip in the iPhone 14 Pro performed really well. It kept up with everything I had to do throughout the day. I had Genshin Impact in the background, I had social media apps, taking videos, photos, some editing. So it really kept up throughout the day. No slowage, no lag, no issues at all. So both chips are very powerful. The general user is going to be happy with either iPhone 14 Pro or the Samsung, but it's really what you prefer. If you like the customization, if you like the ability to have a lot of features and play games, go with the Samsung. But if you like a more simple, minimalistic type of phone that just, does your basic needs and more, like texting, calling, you can play games, record videos, then go with the iPhone. You can't really customize it as much as the Samsung, but you can customize it. It just might take a little bit of time. So yeah, that is my video. That was my day in the life. I want to give a huge shout out to my sister for joining me today and letting me borrow her phone. I'll leave all her socials, so definitely check her out. So yeah, I hope y'all like this video. Slap that like button for me. I would totally appreciate it if you haven't already. And subscribe for more tech and lifestyle. However, that is it for me. I'm gonna clean up and pass out.